Now, if you've started your laser journey and looking to upgrade the precision of your engraving, the consistency of your marking, then I have a video for you. And I'm going to share with you a product from xTool that not only will it work on xTool laser engravers, but it's going to work on fibers and lasers of a variety of brands because it's really about fixtures, jigs, as a lot of people call them. And this is a really unique one. It almost looks like a torture chamber of some sort, but it's actually a jig that's going to make engraving shapes, a variety of shapes, a lot easier. And I got to tell you, we're into jigs. We do massive production of laser engraving goods, and we really love it when a client gets a part and all of the graphics, all the text are exactly in the same spot, no matter how many of them we give them. Something as simple as if someone has a couple Yetis and all of the Yetis basically have the name in the exact same spot when they put them next to each other, that gives us some joy and pride. And I will tell you, your customers, and especially our customers, can tell that. So we have jigs. We have lots of jigs that we use for a variety of things. But this jig is going to give you some flexibility that you don't have from some fixed type jigs like the ones I just showed you. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at this jig. We're going to see how this jig slash fixture solution can adapt itself, transform itself to fit a variety of products, and why you should consider one in your shop or in your basement or wherever you run your business. It could be your garage too. So let's check it out. Now, when you look at this product, at first, you may have seen something like this when you were growing up as a kid, where you maybe put your hand in all these little pokers that were coming out, and it basically took the shape of your hand. And that's kind of like what the concept is here. So as we take a look at this, this has all these rods that are coming out, and you notice how easily they push in, and they will conform to the object that you need to engrave. So for example, if I grab this pen, right? So you have this pen right here, and I push it down, notice how it's kind of like taking the shape, it's cradling the pen. Now, the only thing I do when I use a jig like this or a fixture like this is I make sure that I have a level with me to make sure that it's level, right? So I'll put a level on it. But this little crank right here allows you to fix them in place. And notice how my pen now is perfectly cradled or supported by, again, all of these different pegs that are coming out. When I remove it, it took the shape. When I need to put the next one, all I got to do is put it just like that. So this is going to give you the ability, again, to virtually have one jig that will adapt itself. This fixture will adapt itself to any form that you put on it. It's pretty incredible, and it's going to give you a lot of flexibility, but more importantly, it's going to step up the quality of your engraving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. Now watch how I did this. I'm going to loosen this, and then it comes up. So this thing right here basically allows you to fix something down, hold it down, and it doesn't require a lot of force, which I really like. So if you're leveling something with one hand, all you got to do is bring this lever up, and then it's in place, and then you can release it. Now, it also has a really cool thing so that if you are using like an air assist and you're blowing some air, this will blow air too, and the air will come from the bottom up. So this is going to be great if you want to cool something, if you're working with a metal that requires that there could be a little bit too much heat and you don't want it to warp. So this will always stay cool and help you cool that item. So I'm going to show you a couple things. So let's say, for example, I'm going to grab this shot glass that I have here. This is a glass shot glass. And what I'm going to do is, you notice how in order for this to be straight, it has to be kind of like in an angle right here. I'm going to bring this down, and typically what I would do is I would have a level right here when I would be doing this. So I'd bring it into the position that I want, place it down, and then what I'll do is I'll tighten it. Right? So let's pretend that that's the position I want. Now, you'll notice when I remove it, it's taking the shape. Next one. Next one. So now if I am doing 100 of these, see what I'm talking about? All of a sudden, I have a very repeatable and fast process. And let's face it, when you're doing laser engraving or you're doing any kind of job, you want fast, you want repeatable, and you want consistency. And this is going to help you do that. So I just moved from one thing to another. Now let me show you another object. So we're going to loosen this up. And let's say you want to engrave something like a rock. We did this on the F1, by the way. So this was done on the F1. So this is a memorial stone for my dad. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down to a point where I want it. And I'm going to tighten this lever right here. And now that I've tightened it, now I have for this stone, right, which is an odd shape. And let's face it, no stone, especially if you have many of them that you're working with, is going to be exactly the same. So it's very difficult to create a jig. You may choose to use a vise too, but in this case, this is adaptable. It's adapting to the shape that I have here. And if I have air assist being blown in here, it's going to help keep this cool, especially as I'm taking off or embossing the actual stone to remove the finish and drilling into it so I can have the kind of filling that you see here. So this is another application of something like this. Now, here's a really interesting one. What you see right here, this is for if you have any kind of garden plant, succulents, vegetables, and you want to just keep track of what you've planted. Well, this is going to be difficult to basically engrave. Now, it's flat, which means, hey, this is going to be easy. But remember, we're looking for consistency. If you were to just drop this on the actual engraving bed, it's going to be in a different place every single time. What we would do is we would tie down this jig with the screws so it's in place and it's not moving, right? And I'm showing it to you this way, but what I would do is probably have it like this, right? But it's easier for me to just illustrate it this way. And now I'm going to take this thing that I'm going to engrave, and I'm going to place it right here. And again, I'm going to push down, and notice what's happening here. This is the cool one. Really like this form. So now I have this here, and what I could do is now tighten this, just like that. And now I have a perfectly formed jig or fixture for the specific shape, right? Oops, I took it out. Let's do that again. We'll bring it in and make sure that we have it in a place that we like it. It's right there. Let's tighten that. And no, that's tight. Now, the next one that I'm going to be bringing in, all I have to do is position it just like this, and it's set to go. Every single one that I put in, it will just go into this place, and I can engrave it, and it will always be in the same place, especially if I have this tied down. So this is what I'm talking about, the flexibility that you get here. So this could be used with a variety of different shapes. It could be used with a variety of different objects. You could use it even with a bracelet like this. I'm not going to take this out because I don't want to scratch it right now. But this is something that if you have this like this, you can tighten this in place. And then guess what? It's going to hold this as well. So a lot of, again, different choices that you can work with when it comes to looking to have something that is flexible. I could even do it like this. So let's say, for example, I wanted to get around the corners here a bit. When I bring this down, it would actually, I have the plastic in here, but it would conform to this shape and only bring down the pieces that it needs. But I think you guys get the point. A lot of flexibility, and you could do that even with something like this that is stainless. Same thing what you would do here. You'd bring it to the position that you want, the angle that you want, then you tighten it, and now you have it conformed. And now you can just move from, again, product to product. I'm going to put it on my F1 Ultra, and we're going to see it in action. Let's check it out. Now, let me talk about my setup before we go into how we're going to engrave this. So you'll notice I have the fixture here. And what I do is I have a couple things that I put in place. So I have my little support bar in the bottom, some things on the side that we've created. This just helps with alignment. I just did that. Don't really need to put that in place if I needed to, because you'll notice right here that the fixture does have the ability to support a screw. But I said I might as well go ahead and use this. So I have this in place and I have this ready to go. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to create, using the AI application, AI Make, I'm going to create a logo, right? Something I want to use. So what I'm going to describe is cilantro. And I'm going to say planted with love. Let me do that again. And we're going to see what this will create for us. So I'm going to go ahead and do a generate and see what's out there. I probably should have done a capital L. I'll probably have to fix that. We'll see how it interprets it. And we're going to try another variation. So we didn't like this, so I'm going to go ahead and delete. And all right, so that was not good. We're going to do another one. Cilantro. We're going to do cilantro plant image with the words planted with love. All right, let's try that now. We'll see what it does and see if it gives us, I'm looking really at the cilantro plant leaf. We'll see if we can get that. If not, I'll be a little bit more descriptive. That looks better. Don't like the words though, right? Cilantro leaf, let's try that. I'm gonna go ahead and say, we didn't like that, so we're gonna go ahead and delete this one. We're gonna delete that one, don't like it. And we're gonna do cilantro leaf.
and we're going to say, with the words, planted with love. Let's try that one. Cilantro leaf with the words, planted with love. We'll see what it gives us now. I was almost there with the other one, but it just didn't do a good job when it came to the words. All right, I like this one. We're going to go with this one, but I actually think that this one over here looks more like the cilantro leaf. Planted with love. Love it. All right, so this is going to work, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to import it into XCS, and we're going to scale it to fit. It's big, right? We'll go ahead and reduce the size because we want this to fit. Here, the little heart. All right, I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to scale it a bit more. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to make sure. And you notice how I think that looks good right there. Okay. Now we're going to want to engrave this kind of black. And what I did first is I went into xTool's material library and I chose just something that's stainless steel. So I said stainless steel guitar pick is what I chose. And for an engrave, it's suggesting these settings: power 70, speed 2000. I think this may be a little bit too fast. One pass and then lines per centimeter 100. I'm going to increase this to 240. And I'm going to try it. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and try that. It's easier to find, so we have that. All right, let's go ahead and hit process. I may have to run this twice, but we'll go ahead and see. So we're going to hit process so we can see what's going on here. It's going to calculate the speed. It says it's only going to take 10 minutes or 10 seconds. That's too slow. All right, we're going to change that speed. I have a sense that that needs to go a lot slower. I'm going to make it 500, right? So we're going to make it 500 speed, 70 power. Process, that's kind of my guess, and 23 seconds. Wow, that just doubled the time. All right, we'll try it. So we're going to hit start, and we're going to see what the results look like. All right, so let me share with you kind of like my setup that I have going on here. So I have the actual fixture supported by two L brackets that I've kind of like designed with the support beam there. And all I'm going to do is just hit the button on the side and see how it engraves. I may do this a couple times to just make sure that we get some good color, but we're just going to run it and we're going to see what the quality looks like. But you can see more or less here the setup. I could have used a screw to hold down the fixture, but I didn't. So we're just running it. It's going to be 23 seconds anyway. All right, so we're almost done, and it's done now. All right, so let's see what this looks like now. Things look good. We'll just pop it out. And you know what? I like that. That came out really nice. Check it out. Planted with love. There's my cilantro leaf. And again, this is going to make it repeatable. It's going to make it fast. It's just going to make it work. So guys, that wraps up our review of this fixture from xTool. Fixture, jig, whatever you want to call it. You're talking about consistency, you're talking about repeatability, and you're talking about something that's going to upgrade the way you present, finish your products. See you in the next one.